Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't seen me before, I'm Tereney, and I want to thank you guys so much for clicking on this video because that means that you are likely in need of some yoga today. And I am so happy to be able to provide that for you. Currently, we are in the midst of the coronavirus quarantine of 2020, and everyone's stressed out. Even if you say you're not stressed out, you probably are, and that's okay. I just wanted to be able to provide you guys with something since all the gyms have closed, all the yoga studios have closed. A lot of us are displaced and out of work, and honestly, yes, it is very stressful. But I still want to be able to get you guys moving around, flowing, keep your body healthy, keep your mind healthy to help fight this thing. Not only just your immune system, but fight your mental state of trying to feel, or not even trying to feel defeated, but possibly feeling defeated in the wake of all of this. It is hard, and I get it. So I want to make sure that I provide you guys with a few things to help keep you moving, keep you motivated, and break up the monotony of your day. So let's get started with an energizing and grounding flow today. So come on over to your mat. Make sure you clear out a nice space for you that is free of any distractions. As quiet as it can be. Come to a comfortable seat, whatever that may be, sitting just like this or sitting cross-legged. You may sit on blocks, sit on cushions, whatever allows you to feel comfort and support as you sit to breathe. Close the eyes and start to deepen your breath, inhaling deeply through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Focusing on really filling up the lungs with each inhale. Completely empty out with each exhale. Keep continuing that cycle. And start to soften your jaw, easing the tension from the jaw to the shoulders. So if those shoulders feel like they're squeezing up towards your ears, allow them to drift down a little closer towards your hips. Sitting up nice and tall with a supported spine. Start to clear your mind of any thoughts that might be sneaking in. We're not necessarily worrying about what's going on outside, what should be happening in the future, what has happened in the past. We are only focusing on what's happening right now, and right now, that is your breath. Start to activate your senses one at a time. This is a grounding technique that I've been introducing to my students here and there. And I would love to share with you guys. So continue to breathe deeply, inhaling through the nose, filling up, and exhaling through the nose, emptying out. As you feel your mind start to clear of any cluttered thoughts, start to activate your senses. Now, though we have our eyes closed, we're starting with vision. What is it that you are seeing? Even with the eyes closed, you can still take in so much information. Is it the light shining through your eyelids? Or is your mind projecting an image? Identify what that image is and give it a name, something easy to remember. Continue to breathe. And then come into your hearing. Listening to all of the sounds around you until you are able to pinpoint one very distinct sound that won't cause you to lose your Next, come into your hearing. Listen to all the sounds happening around you and try to pinpoint one very distinct sound. Send all of your focus to it. If it feels like it's a sound that could cause you to be distracted, listen a little deeper for something else that may promote a little bit more of a calming feeling. What is that sound? Identify it by giving it a name that you can remember easily. Moving on to your touch. And though we are seated with our palms facing up and those hands are not touching anything in particular except for the knees, I want you to dig a little deeper. Maybe it's not so much what your fingers can feel or what the palm of your hand can feel. Maybe send your focus to your hands and see what sensations are happening in your hands and your hands alone. Or maybe it's another place in your body. Maybe even use the entirety of your skin, feeling your clothing on your skin, or the firmness of the ground below. Whatever it may be that you can focus on, identify that sensation or that feeling. Give it an easy to remember name. Moving on to your sense of smell. As you inhale, receive all of that information as it comes into you. Picking out one scent in particular that you can focus on that is very distinct, very clear, and give it a name. Along with the sense of smell comes the sense of taste, so maybe give that scent a flavor. Or bring into memory the last thing you ate or drank, or your favorite food or beverage. See if you can bring that taste to life. The juiciness of an apple, the crispness of some cold, crystal clear water. Whatever it may be, give it an easy to remember name as you continue to breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Run through all 5 of those senses in your mind, committing them to memory so that you can use them for later. If at any point in the practice your breath comes out of pace, something feels quite challenging and you'd rather take a break, or your mind starts to drift into things that are not pertaining to what is happening on your mat, come back to that grounding technique. So don't be afraid if you end up forgetting any of those 5. That is totally okay. You can come up with a new set of 5 or replace whatever it is that you have forgotten. As long as you take the moment to sit, breathe, come back into your senses, slowly and one at a time. That is all that is really asked of you. Gently flutter the eyes open and come into a tabletop position, all 4s to your hands and knees, stacking the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Spread the fingertips wide and just lay the tops of the feet down onto the ground. Come back into your breath, inhaling deeply through the nose and exhaling deeply. Start to imagine what the bones of your body look like. Give yourself X-ray vision for a moment. But bring your focus into your pelvic bone. Right now I can tell and feel that my tailbone is pulling up towards the ceiling a little bit, and my ilium, the top of the pelvic bone, is starting to pull down towards the ground with my belly kind of scooping down towards the mat. So what I would like to do from here is start to pull my tailbone down some, point it straight back to the wall behind me. That pulls the top of my ilium up towards my shoulders, and that automatically starts to make my low belly pull up and in. But I'm going to give it a little extra gusto by really squeezing the entire abdomen. Good. And press into the hands to separate those shoulder blades from each other, because if they're squeezing together, that chest kind of drops and you're losing some of that core engagement from the top of your belly. So press into the hands, start to lift the sternum up, and that gives a lot more engagement right underneath the diaphragm. Breathing deeply all the while, even though you're super engaged in your belly. Take your breath into your lungs rather than filling up from the diaphragm. So expand the ribs. And then let them squeeze back together as you exhale. On your next inhale, tuck the toes. Start to lift the knees 2 inches off the ground and continue to send the hips all the way up, coming into downward facing dog. That beautiful upside down V shape. Spreading the hands wide and pressing firmly into all of those fingertips. And then pull the heels down. Keep that low belly engagement, pulling that navel in towards the spine as you relax your shoulders away from your ears. Send your gaze between your toes. Let your head be heavy and breathe here. On your next inhale, look to the hands, shifting into a high plank. Adjust your hands and your feet however you need, but make sure those shoulders are stacked right over the wrists, and that booty doesn't sink down too low or sit up too high. Have it nice and flush with the rest of the body. So it's a whole lot of core action that's going on here, but keep pressing into those hands and separate those shoulder blades from each other. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale, lift the hips all the way up to the ceiling, press into the hands, pull the heels down towards the ground for down dog. Inhale, shift back into high plank. Exhale to down dog. Inhale to high plank. Exhale to down dog. Inhale to high plank, hold here. Take a full exhale. One more deep breath in. Then as you exhale here, start to lower the knees down. Keep the belly firm as you start to lower the chest down by bending the elbows straight back, but squeeze them in tight towards your ribs and lower the chest all the way down. Beautiful. Keep those hands right underneath the shoulders, untuck the toes, and lay the tops of the feet down to the ground. As you inhale, press into the hands, start to peel the chest off the ground, squeezing your shoulder blades together and pressing the sternum forward. Tip the head back for a full cobra pose. Take another deep breath in here. Full exhale, pushes the hips back, tuck the toes. Send the hips all the way up, coming back to downward facing dog. Come into your breath here, relaxing those shoulders, remembering all those fantastic cues about down dog, spreading the hands wide, really engaging the entire hand. So if your wrists feel any pain, press into those fingertips and press into the knuckles and lift the center of the palm away from the ground. On your inhale, look to the top of your mat and start to walk your feet forward. Coming into a half lift by bringing the hands to the shins, lifting up halfway, flatten the back, and look forward. Exhale, reach down for the toes, bend the knees as much as you like, and the crown of the head reaches down to the ground for a forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Last one, inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. If you would like, you can bring your block into the game at this point. take the hands to the block to help supplement your forward fold. If you also would like, you can heel toe those feet apart as wide as your mat. This helps with a little pressure that might be on the lower back. Allow the head to be heavy and the neck to be loose. And maybe catch opposite elbows to ragdoll if you would not like your hands on the ground, or if it feels better to just let gravity give you a little assist. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release your grip. If you had it in ragdoll, take the hands down to your block or to the mat. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to heel toe those feet back together. If you spread them apart, bend the knees, slowly roll all the way up as you inhale. Sweep the arms up, palms touch at the top. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Good, we'll move on into sun salutation A. Inhale, reach the arms up. Tuck the tailbone a little just to keep that engagement in the belly. And as you exhale, swan dive into a forward fold, reaching down for those toes. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, bend the knees a lot as you plant the hands down to the mat. Step back to find your high plank again. And slowly lower down. You can do the knees first and then lower the chest down, or keep the knees lifted and lower the entire body down at the same time, squeezing those elbows in tight to the body. Inhale to peel up for cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes and send the hips up for downward facing dog. Relax the shoulders. Slow down the breath if it started to quicken. Use down dog in these progressions to come back to your breath if it ever tries to leave you or speed up a little bit, or the mind starts to speed up a little bit. Take this opportunity to slow everything down. If you like, you can stay in tabletop, but I ask that you keep it firm. No, we all want to make sure we keep that core engagement. All right, on your next inhale, look to the hands. Start to step to the top of your mat. Come back to the half lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up. Stand tall, reach up. Palms touching at the top. Tuck the tailbone. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, hands to the shins, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step, or maybe jump back to come into your high plank. Only do what you are comfortable with. Take one more deep breath in if you stayed here, and then exhale, slowly lower down, maybe stopping at chaturanga. Those shoulders and elbows are in the same line. Inhale to cobra or up dog, pressing the tops of the feet and the hands into the ground so much that those thighs lift off to the ground. One more deep inhale. Exhale, tuck the toes, hips come all the way up for downward facing dog. Come back into your breath. Steady the breath and relax the jaw, relax the shoulders. The only thing that I want you to be super, super firm about is that engagement in your hands and that engagement in your belly. On your next inhale, look to the top of the mat. Walk your feet to the top of the mat, step to the top of the mat, or maybe bend the knees and jump to the top of the mat. Inhale to half lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up, stand tall, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Good. Again, inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step or jump back. Find that high plank and lower down. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Breathe. From here, as you inhale, lift the right leg up, coming into three-legged dog. If your hip is open, that's okay. But make sure you flex the foot to get a full stretch through that entire leg. One more deep breath in as you look towards your hands. Start to pull the knee in towards the chest and plant the foot down between the thumbs. Lowering that left knee down to the ground, untuck the toes and lay the top of the foot down to the ground. If you would like to use blocks that frame your foot to help make the ground feel a little closer, you are welcome to bring blocks into play. If you would rather bring your hand to the knee, bring the hand to the knee. However, make sure that that knee stays stacked over the ankle to prevent any injury in the joint, but also to promote strength in this entire section. We're pressing the hips straight down. However, if you are more in a kneeling position, you can take a 90-degree bend in both knees. Bring the hands to the top of the waist. Find where those ilium are and identify where your tailbone is pointing. Start to pull it down towards the ground, rolling the top of the hips back to stretch through that front hip flexor on your left side. So that's one of two options, this here or taking the deeper lunge here. Regardless of which one you try, stay for a few breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Relaxing those shoulders, softening the jaw. Take one more deep breath in. Keep the chest lifting towards the front. And as you exhale, start to push into your right foot. The hips start to push back towards your heel of your left foot. If you have the blocks with you, you can walk them back to be your support, to come into this half split, flexing the right foot. Try to keep a little micro bend in the knee and start to forward fold to your heart's content. Once you feel that muscle starting to talk to you, that's right when you should stop. If you would like to go a little deeper, see if you can sit the hips all the way down to the ground and come into a forward fold, maybe catching onto the foot. Whatever option feels the best, find whatever one works for you. We are all built differently and we all use our bodies differently. So all of these poses can be modified and customized just to our own physiques. Relax the neck and let the head be heavy. And on your next inhale, bend into the knee, bring the foot back down to the ground, start to lunge back forward, tuck your back toes, straighten out the back leg, and on your inhale, press into that right foot and sweep the arms up, lifting the chest up, coming into crescent lunge. Take a deep inhale as you straighten out that right leg. Exhale, bend the knee again, coming back into crescent lunge. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, crescent lunge. Take one more inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale to crescent lunge. Now stay in crescent lunge as you inhale, reach the arms up a little higher, separating your ribs from your hips. And then exhale, bring the hands down to the ground or to your blocks. Actually, no. Go ahead and leave the blocks out of the way if you can bring the hands down to the ground. Step back, find your high plank, and lower down to your chaturanga or all the way down to the ground. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Breathe. Maybe take any movements that bring a little bit of blood flow back into the hips. We'll work out that left side here in a moment. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up for three-legged dog. Have that foot flexed and pull the right heel down to the ground, still engaging in both hands. On your next inhale, look to those hands and pull the knee in towards the chest and plant the foot between those thumbs. Lowering the right knee down to the ground, come back into that same lunge, keeping the hands to the ground or take the hands to the block, no matter where they are. Pull the chest up, sternum lifting forward, and making sure that knee is stacked over the ankle. Second option would be kneeling with that 90-degree bend in both knees and pulling the top of the hips back as the tailbone points down to feel the stretch through that front hip flexor and quad a little bit deeper. Soften your breath, soften your jaw. Send your breath into your hips. On your next inhale, start to press into that left foot, straightening the leg out. Walk your hands or your blocks back halfway to come into half split and flex the foot, pushing the hips back towards your heel. If you like, you can continue to sit the hips down towards your heel and come into a forward fold. I still ask that you find what is most comfortable for you and you alone. Let the head be heavy and relax the neck. Continue to push the hips back. Almost imagine really locking your femur into that hip socket. On your next inhale, come back to the lunge and remove the blocks, plant the hands to the ground, tuck your right toes and straighten out that right leg. Press into the left foot and sweep the arms up for crescent lunge. Take an inhale to straighten out that left leg. Exhale, back to crescent lunge. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, crescent lunge. Inhale, straighten. Exhale to crescent lunge. Last one, inhale to straighten. Exhale, lower down to crescent lunge. Stay here for another inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down to the ground. Step back, find the high plank. Flow down to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog or cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet. Get some movement back into those legs. Balancing out those hips. And on your inhale, look toward your hands. Pull your right knee up towards your right wrist. Sweep the foot out to the left side, coming into half pigeon as you straighten the left leg out. Pull it all the way back and start to lower the hips down. If those hips are still a little elevated, give them a little support by bringing your block under your glutes or under that left hip if there's space. Since I have two, I'm going to go ahead and keep one underneath my right cheek. And then take one underneath my left, or not my left, anything, my chest. Start to lay the chest down either to the block or towards the ground. Let the head be heavy with the forehead coming to the ground and just letting it be loose. Stretch the arms overhead and relax the shoulders and breathe. If you do not need any assistance, make sure you still keep those hips level and balanced. That is the whole goal. Lowering down, and then start to lower the belly and the chest down to the ground, forehead to the ground, arms reach overhead, and let the shoulders relax away from the ears. As you inhale, slowly start to come out of the pose, bringing the hands under the shoulders. Gently pulling back up. Find your way back into a tabletop or down dog position. Whatever feels best to you. So if you're taking tabletop, just be sure to get some movement into that right leg. Rolling that femur in around that hip socket. If you're doing this in down dog, it's the same thing. Get movement in that right leg. Maybe draw some circles with your knee. Make sure to go the other direction. Bring the foot back down to the ground and switch to the other side, pulling that left knee up towards the wrist. Foot sweeps out to the right as you stretch your right leg straight back, setting up your blocks again, or whatever you're using for extra support, and then start to lay the chest down once you feel your hips are level. Coming all the way down, forehead to the ground or even forehead to a block. Soften and deepen your breath. Inhale, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, slowly starting to come out of the pose. Coming back to your hands and knees or to tabletop, but take your time. Getting some movement back into that left leg. We're increasing that circulation in the spaces that were compressed. If you're in down dog, look to the hands, step or jump to the top of your mat and come to a seat. If you're in tabletop, sweep the legs out to the side, come to a seat. Stretch the legs out long in front of you. Reach the arms forward, put them parallel to the legs. Keep the feet flexed and a deep breath in. Exhale slowly, lowers you all the way down to the ground, but keep the belly firm and navel pulling in, controlling the descent all the way down to the ground until, woo, you've made it. Close the eyes, let the arms open, palms open, feet flop out to the side, coming into Shavasana. Relaxing those shoulders away from the ears if they tried to sneak back up there one more time. Close the eyes, soften the jaw. Let go of the controlled breath. Just let it happen on its own. But keep your focus on your inhale and exhale if your mind starts to drift a little into thoughts that do not belong here in this space. Maybe even go through your 5 senses, remembering those things that you saw, smelled, heard, all 5 of them. Or maybe starting anew with a new 5. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Reintroduce movement, wiggling the toes and the fingers. Opening and closing the hands, rolling the wrists, rolling the ankles. And reach the arms overhead, bring the feet together. Stretch from fingertips to toes, full body stretch. And as you exhale, start to pull the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a big hug, either wrapping the arms underneath the thighs or on top of the shins. Take one more deep breath in, and as you exhale, roll over to your favorite side, coming into the fetal position. Keep the knees drawing up towards the chest. Use your arm as a pillow, and find stillness here. And then whenever you're ready, with the eyes remaining closed, slowly start to push your way back up into a comfortable seat. Sit bones ground into the mat. Hands resting on top of the knees with the palms open. Shoulders relaxed. Jaw soft. And come back into your breath. Take a moment to reflect on the movement that you just completed. Noticing how you feel, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally. Compare that to how you felt before you entered into this practice today. Take a moment to reflect on those differences. Understanding that sometimes all it takes is just slowing things down, breaking them down into pieces, tackling them one at a time, really focusing in, honing in on one singular thing. Give it all our attention. And we're able to conquer and move on to the next. So when the world starts to throw a lot of stimulating things at us all at once, slow it down so that it's one thing at a time. Remembering to focus, breathe, and soften the jaw. And we'll close out this practice with one breath, unifying us all together. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, palms touching at the top. Exhale, bring hands to heart center, tuck the chin, and we bow to honor each other. Slowly rise back up, open the eyes. You are done. Thank you so much for joining me for this flow today. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. I definitely plan to keep providing you guys with more content of this nature, so be sure to tune back in. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure you subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.